Hi, welcome to another video on my walking robot Mirft2 based on the fischertechnik robotics TXT controller. And last time I added this touch switch, which is connected to, let me show you, this first digital input. I added some code in Python to read this digital sensor, and I noticed that it wasn't read out consistently. One time it did, another time it did not. And that is rather weird, because why wouldn't it do that? So let me for certainty run the program again. And last time that also showed that the legs are not acting as well as they could. So let's go for it. I will lift the whole thing. Now it's going to run. And I will have to put it better in view. So you see that the front legs are not responding properly. And now I will also touch the sensor. I'm touching it. And the sensor is not being detected. So let me do it again. And there's a difference now, because I was rather late in touching the sensor, but now it actually notices it. So that is kind of weird. I will run it again. Touching it. So again rather late. And you see what happens. One leg only, if I'm correct. And there is no response from the sensor, although I'm touching it. So there are two problems. Unfortunately, I haven't yet received any comment on my code from the developer, from the FT-RoboPi developer, which is too bad. But apart from that, I think I have to concentrate now on this sensor. This sensor. And in order to verify that it is not just this sensor but things in common, I have created a second one. And this one will go on that side, and this one will go on this side, right and left. So that will be two wires, of course. Well, this one which there already is, this will be 2, and the new one will be 1. So let me construct that and see if the wiring is correct. I moved this sensor to the right side, and now I have to implement this one. So let me try to get it in its place. And everything should stay in its place, and due to the construction this part has come out, unfortunately. Now it's back. And then let me reposition the camera. These are way too close to each other, so I have to move this to the side and this one to the side, and then take care that the wires don't interfere with anything. So that should do. Now of course I have to wire this one as well, and the question is, how should that work? Red on the outside, green on the inside. That's for one thing. And here I have a problem that comes with this type of wire. It easily comes out of the connector. Very easily. Let me shine a brighter light. So I need to have the original. I should be using this wire, but I am out of that, so let's see how this works out. If it works out. Once again, that is one, and then I stick it in, and using a screwdriver hopefully it fits. So then turning it around, and putting it in digital interface 1. So that is as far as construction goes. And once again I have to keep in mind that it doesn't interfere with anything mechanical. But now it looks kind of nice, and now it is up to programming. So 1 becomes 2 and the new one becomes 1. So up to some coding. So the coding of the sensors in the front will be slightly no, it won't be too hard, except that I need to notice that this one will be the right side one now. Now this was the middle side, in the middle. Now it's moved to the right side, but I can use this anyway. I just have to remind myself that this one is now the left side one, and copy and paste, and this one will be then of course the right side one. And alright, so with this I can actually start reading them. And where do I read it? Here. But now I have set 1, and so I have to say, okay, this is 1. And this is 1. 1. So what I should do now as well is say, okay, no, here, this will become 2. And this will become 2 as well. There's no use in using 0, because when there's when it's 0, there is nothing, and I only need to know when the sensor is being pressed. Of course, I can only I can also say if sensor sensor front 1 and sensor front 2, but I'll leave that for now. First thing I need to know is if this is actually working. So I'm going to save this and run the program and see whatever happens. And of course I have to lift it, run it, touching the new one, and it's only the left motor that runs, but after apart from that it works, because I touched the left side front, the left side one, which you can see is front 1, and in the terminal it says front sensor 1, so that is alright. So up to sensor 2, and now for some reason only the right side sensor works, but no, the right side front leg and hind leg do, but the front sensor doesn't indicate. So that's weird. Okay, let's go back to 1. How reliable will this be? Right side motor, left side motor and front sensor 1, which is correct. By the way, the front legs did not move at the same time. First right side, then left side, and then it ends. So let's check front sensor 1 again. Yes. So now front sensor 2 again. No front sensor. we try again front sensor 2. No such thing. And I clearly hear the click of the sensor. So let me try again. Front sensor 2 only. No such thing. Front sensor 1. Neither. Okay, this is weird. One thing that has to be kept in mind, of course, with this program is that it has no while loop, and the sensor is being read right here while the first sensor is done. So if you look at the output, this is counter 0, which is here. Then comes counter 1, and here says motor speed set to 1024. Which means that you have to press the sensor before around the time that it is here. So let's test once again. Lifting the robot, running and touching. It needs some time to do that, to initialize. Now you see front sensor 1 is being detected. So I'm doing the same for front sensor 2, which comes later, as you can see in the program. This time it goes fine, which I cannot say for the front legs because those behave erratically again. That's very weird. So let me touch 1 again. And that goes well this time. Now front sensor 2. Alright, so now what if I touch both and I don't even have to touch them at the same time, but it works. So once again for both. Right. A third time, holding both. See, and this is weird. I am not acting anything out of the ordinary, but there's no sensor. So let me do it again. Touching both sensors. Nothing again. So this is something I cannot explain. Why is this happening? Does this have to do with sync data? I doubt it. Does this have to do with the wiring? I doubt it, because as you can see, and let me pull it down a little bit. As you can see, multiple instances here and here, and let's go further back. Here only front sensor 2, front sensor 1, front sensor 2, so the wiring is more than fine. This is really something odd going on. Let me try once again, also with both sensors. And there they go, both of them. Does it need to have some time in between? I hope not. Nothing again. So I have no explanation for this, unfortunately. What else can I check for this to happen? For this to explain anything? I have to really think about it, because this is making no sense to me. Not only the strange behavior of the front legs, but also this. Once again, time to think good. With these quite unreliable results, reliable would be that upon pressing upon one of the sensors there would be something printed. Does not happen. So time to take a closer look at the sensors, and more accurately the whole combination. And then I noticed that they are not exactly at the same position. And then I mean these parts, because this one is much more vertical than this one. And when I simply press here, no problem. When I press here, it comes back further. You can see the difference. So the question is that a problem with the switch, or isn't it? Here, let me take a closer look like this. When I look here, there's one of this thing is pressing against the switch. When I look here, is that the same or not? Ah, now I see why. There's one thing missing here. Well, there's not one thing missing here, there's something missing here. So I need to correct that. And I take the plate off, put this in here, and I slide it on again. So that was the reason why they were not exactly the same. Now they are. And the question is, does this have any influence on the results? I would not think so, but at least now they are really identical. So let me run the program. and I will lift it, press enter, press both, and yes, you already see that this leg doesn't move for some odd reason, but also both sensors are not detected. So let me try again, press them. So, and that is why the motor, or why this one didn't work. Try again. Oops. I hear nothing from the right side of the motor, this one. Is there something wrong underneath that it doesn't work? Not that I can see. Everything is in place. So then why doesn't the right side of the motor run? Anyway, now they are exactly identical. So, with this necessary small reconstruction of the new sensor, which works or not, it bothers me that the right side of the robot doesn't do anything mechanically. So what I'm going to do is run it again. I already checked the wires and those are simply connected well. So let me just run it. Press the sensors. That's not going very well. Now they are working so nicely. However, the counters are completely zero. So, as a last resort, I'm going to put the counters completely to 3 and 4. So 2 becomes 4, and then of course 1 becomes 3. That's red. And that's the green one. So now instead of 0 and 1 we should read 2 and 3. However, I have to change this in the software as well. So let's do this properly. This is counter 3. No, 2. Counter. No, it's 0 and 1. Then it's 2 and 3 here. And here it gets reading out 2 and 3. That's the right one. And we have 2 places where we do that. So here it becomes 2 and here it becomes 3, going to the end of the line, and here it gets 2 and here it gets 3. Becomes, I should say, not gets. Anyway, saving. Let's give it another try. Will this actually work? Well, 2 works, 1 still doesn't, and 4 to my surprise doesn't do anything. So let's do it again. See, that is a big difference. A very big difference even. And also the front sensors do work now. So one last time, holding the sensors. Oh, how nice. So conclusion, counters 0 and 1 just don't work. 2 and 3 work. Sensors are not really reliable. I don't know why they are skipped when they are held, but anyway, this shows they do work. Motors aren't running flawlessly, to say the least. Is this dependent of the pulse counters? In some way, yes, because when you compare pulse counters like I do with Sync 2, they should simply work at the same time for a set distance. That doesn't happen because the right side is running more erroneously than the left side, and I have no idea what causes that. Anyway, thank you for watching another experiment. If you like my video and haven't subscribed yet, please do so. See also my Instagram. You can find it on my website. And if you like my videos, please consider to donate to my blog and videos. And this is certainly to be continued. Bye bye.